Hey guys, and today I'm gonna show you my tutorial on how to make hi-hats, percussion and clap for techno or tech house type of music in VCV Rack. So in previous video in the series I did kick and bass strips, and today we're gonna continue with heads, percussion and clap. Okay, let's solo our heads, clap and percussion, and let's zoom in to try and understand what's going on. So the first and the main module of control percussion and clap here is a mu graph. It's awesome sequencer based on mutable grids, so it has on board kinda ready to use patterns which can control on map X, map Y knobs, and here is the amount of beats, amount of ticks in beats, so you can manipulate them to vary your sequence. So you can hear percussion is slowed down a bit, but we can increase it. While jamming, of course, it's pretty useful to not mess with a typical 8-step sequencer. And here is a clap, so it's basic clap on 2 and 4 beat, but just increase it and get a nice driving patterns here. So I use external clock from the clocked and set this knob to external, and clock resolution is by default on 4 PPQN, and run output from the clock as well, and reset from clock 2. So if I press space bar, by the way, it's present by new stroke module from Stormelder. Which one is better version now? I will leave the link in the description, so we can use hotkeys, pre-mapped hotkeys to control your rack without needed hovering, and it's pretty cool. Oops. Okay, so the next module is for fast hi-hat and its swing. It also receives output from clocked, reset, BPM output and 4x clock, and it's set for length and for division. Just listen what's going on with hi-hat. So it basically works as a swing parameter in your favorite DAW. It's just drags some triggers backward like this, -31, and forward to make it off-grid a bit, so in full amount you will hear a full or swing fast head. But I prefer personally for techno it's about 35, just to get some variations in rhythm, such a human feeling, and it also can increase the overall drive in your patch. So the module which is generating hi-hat, fast hi-hat, is a Hora hi-hat, and it's pretty cool for closed hi-hat. It's pretty classic. It receives a T clock from the swing, and then I passed it to the Boc Audio VCV, sorry, and it controls very slightly was one pole filter top and frequencies. So it's a nice way to get rid of annoying top end frequencies. So the next model is slow hat, and its trigger generates from main output of clocked and then passes through the not logic output. So it's just set off beat for hi-hat, and the module is generate sounds is octave red is 3 Hz. So it has an onboard cutoff and reso, so I use it as a timbre generator for heads, not as cutoff to get rid of unwanted frequencies. I use again Boc Audio VCV. So each patch of techno have to set up for personal preference of artist, of course, and overall groove feeling. The next parameter is pretty important for manipulating open hat in techno is a release, and it's pretty fun in this module. You can also make some reverb-like effects with this release knob. And here is a tag that I prefer something like this 10 o'clock position. Also it has a distortion, gain. I like those settings. No metal, of course, and noise, full of noise. Here is a macro knob for this parameter for closed fast head. It's pretty needed when going to arranging the patch in the next steps. Okay, for percussion I used a couple of Platts modules with different modes. The first one is a particle noise. Here is a kind of settings. Here is a trick input from left part of mu graph from Valley, and here is a right part of mu graph, and I mixed those output and aux in mix module from Boc Audio X-Fade. You can also manipulate this parameter to get varied your sound, and another Platts in model resonator. You can also manipulate it a bit, but barely audible here. And here is a mix between two mixers of each Platts, but I prefer something around this. And then I pass the output of full mix into band reject or notch filter of Boc Audio LVCV, and it's pretty fun. It makes some really cool notches here, and you can get those timbre you want, low or rejected, phased, something like this. And so I mixed those both cut-offs filter outputs in the shaper from Squinky Labs. Is one of my favorite wave shaper in VCV in emitted coupled mode in some of offset and gain around 2 o'clocks. So it makes some kind of stereo effect of the percussion, and it's pretty fun in the techno mix. And the last thing in today's tutorial is a clap. Here is a simple one. Classic 808 clap is awesome, and Autodafe present us this awesome sampled one, and I then just passed it to the emitted coupled to make some drive. It works as saturator. And that's it. So let's move to our mixer and let's listen the mix. And the last thing I use for percussion is another sidechain compressor. I used that kind of connections here and just put the kick drum output to the side to make some pushing on to percussion. So the patch is available on my Patreon, and hope you like this video, guys. I would like to continue this series. It seems like interesting to subscribers and patrons as well. So thank you for watching, guys, and see you next time.